Our first question is from Brother Abdul Rahman, and he is from New York. He says that, I'd like to know if one is sick and cannot go to the mosque, can he pray Friday prayers, Salatul Jum'ah, by watching the Jum'ah prayer in Mecca? Also, what is the best way to ask Allah for forgiveness? Regarding the first part of the question, whether it is Friday prayer or the daily congregational prayer, you cannot pray it unless you are with the congregation. And that is why it's called Salatul Jama'ah, prayer in congregation. So if someone lives in a high-riser, in an apartment, and just below him there is a masjid, and the people pray in the masjid, can he overlook the masjid from his house, from his bedroom, pray with them in congregation? He hears the adhan, he hears the iqamah, he hears the recitation of the Quran. The answer is no. And the reason is because he is not with the congregation. Therefore, his prayer would be invalid. Now, it is even worse if a person prays behind a TV set or making the TV set his imam. So he is in Mecca, but instead of going to the haram, to the holy mosque, he decides that he wants to go, well, actually he decides that he wants to stay home and he wants to pray in his living room. And this is not permissible, and his prayer is invalid. You have to be with the congregation. If you are sick, with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah has given you the permission to pray in your home. Allah does not want you to kill yourself or to torture yourself. It does not benefit Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah does not burden us with such things. If you're sick and you're unable to go to the masjid, you have the excuse to pray in your home. As for the second part of the question, which deals with the best way to ask Allah for forgiveness, there are numerous ways of doing that. But we have an authentic hadith where the Prophet ﷺ told us about Sayyidul Istighfar, the master of seeking forgiveness, meaning the master of supplications. And it's a long and beautiful hadith, not that quite, it's not that long. All what you have to say is, Allahumma inni abduka wa ibnu abdika wa ibnu amatika, and you go on saying the dua. Well, this can be also, what I've just quoted, can be for reciting the Quran and concluding the Quran. But Sayyid al-Istighfar begins with, Allahumma anta rabbi la ilaha illa ant. Oh Allah, you are my Lord, and there's no God worthy of being worshipped except you. Khalaqtani wa ana abduk. You've created me and I am your servant. Wa ana ala ahdika wa wa'dika mastata'at. And I am to fulfill your pledges, that is my pledges to you, and to be on my allegiance to you and promises to you. And then you go on to confess of your shortcomings and to admit Allah's blessing and favors over you, and then you seek Allah's forgiveness. It's a beautiful hadith that the scholars have explained and interpreted to us, though it does not need an interpretation. This is what the Prophet called ﷺ the master of supplication of istighfar. Now, if you would like to only ask Allah for forgiveness by saying astaghfirullah, or you say Allahumma ghfirli, all of these are possible and acceptable. If you say what Adam and Eve said, peace be upon them, رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا وَإِن لَمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَتَرْحَمْنَا لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Also this is acceptable. So the sky is the limit. Any way that you seek Allah's forgiveness by repenting to Him, by showing Him sincere and true remorse, and by saying it with your tongue, I seek Allah's forgiveness, Allahumma ghfirli, or saying the master supplication of seeking for forgiveness, this is all inshallah valid. Sister